Welcome back to FryMinis. I'm Eric, and I am convinced that Tasha's Cauldron of Everything is a sneak peek into the future of Dungeons & Dragons game design. Okay, first, this book, it's fantastic. It represents some huge changes to the official D&D 5e rules. Changes that expand player options, focus on creating characters rather than walking talking stat blocks, and rules that are designed from the ground up to be homebrewed. The player-friendly design of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything sets the table for more things to come. If you're new to the channel, I focus on making Dungeons & Dragons a welcoming, inclusive, and personalized experience. Click that subscribe button if that sounds like your kind of game, or if you just like cool minis. Okay, so what do I mean by all this? Tasha's is full of customization options that help make your game fit your players, your characters, and your group. But more than anything, I think it does a great job in providing inspiration to take that customization even a step further. I mean, just look at some of these subclass options. The Path of Wild Magic is a magical barbarian. The Way of Mercy is a healing monk, and Bladesinger is a melee wizard. Right off the bat, this book is reinforcing that anybody can be anything. There's nothing wrong with being a wild shaping moon druid that pounces out of the trees and claws up your enemies. But guess what? You can also just burn down the entire forest with the Circle of Wildfire. And the optional class features, these are amazing. These alternatives bolster design weaknesses in some classes and provide exciting options for others. Give your Oath of Redemption Paladin the guidance and Spare the Dying cantrips with the Blessed Warrior fighting style to lean in on that Preserver role. Or use the transmuted spell Meta Magic to finally make your sorcerer that true master of the elements you've always wanted. Classes have never been as diverse as they are right now. I mean, there's even information on how to change your subclass. And a little call out here. There's a special list of Battle Master builds to help you create that character that's in your head. Point your new players here for simple build tips to accomplish their vision. Or you can use the new sidekick rules to help players comfortably ease into the game. The most controversial section in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything is probably the races or character origin section. This book has a new system for swapping out abilities to make your race more representative of your particular character. The Goliath War Cleric can now start with +2 wisdom and +1 strength. The High Elf Wizard skipped longsword training class and took a seminar on the rapier. And the custom lineage system allows a player to create a race from the ground up or reimagine an existing one. Want to be a halfling bandit? Easy. Take +2 dexterity, dark vision, and the dual wielder feat to be a stabby rogue from level 1. Now, I'm not sure if these custom lineage races technically qualify for racial feats. To me, it would come down to that particular character. So if you're playing a tweaked tiefling, yes, go ahead, take Infernal Constitution. If you're playing with some sort of made-up pickle folk race, you're probably not going to be able to pick up Elven Accuracy. Now, I see online a lot of worry about these kind of customizations leading to power gaming or meta builds. And honestly, I don't care. Yes, okay, so maybe Adventurers League will be full of magic-resistant Yuan-Ti barbarians and medium armor-wearing dwarven wizards for a little while. And you might even have one or two of these players at your table at home. But guess what? It doesn't matter. If the player likes to squeeze every ounce of power out of their character, great, hats off to them, go for it. Let them do it. That's where they are getting the joy in the game. I do think most players, though, like to have a at least decently optimized character. And these new systems help us get there. D&D is a game, and we're here to have fun. Not wanting to be penalized with 15 in your starting stat does not make you a min-maxer. D&D 5e is built around small numbers through a thing called bounded accuracy. So that means every single ability point, and then especially every modifier, makes a huge impact on the overall capabilities of your character. If you have a half-orc that's studied their entire life to be a wizard, giving them +2 intelligence isn't cheesy. You're basing your stats on your character's origin and story and history. You're ultimately just creating a character that's more representative of what you want to play. Tasha's is full of fun stuff throughout the entire book. Group patrons are a fantastic way to instantly build a bond between the entire group. New spells create new options. You can have a dozen wizards, and if they're choosing different spells, you'll have a dozen different experiences. New magic items keep the game fresh for established players. And critically, certain new items allow players to create characters that better represent them physically, with things such as prosthetics and tattoos. And the whole back of the book is full of great options for the Dungeon Master. I mean, there are even puzzles back there. And I am thrilled to see that there's a section specifically about Session 0. And that section has a subsection about establishing a social contract and setting hard and soft limits. Come on, this is perfect. It codifies everything that we've been talking about, making this game a more inclusive space. Just be sure to keep that ball rolling by listening to player feedback. Check out this video to learn how to do that. Okay, so all these options in this book tell me to open my eyes and get funky. Start homebrewing and customizing. Tweak the game as you need. Printed rules are just a suggestion. Jeremy Crawford, the principal rules designer for Dungeons & Dragons, encourages people to change the rules to fit their table. Heck, he has his own house rules and he literally wrote the book. I feel like this design strategy sets up a very exciting direction for the future of Dungeons & Dragons. And no, I don't think 6th edition is right around the corner. I think we've got years and years to go with 5e. System reworks and philosophical shifts like these take time. Our community is a very vocal and very passionate one. We will need to dip our toes into these kind of changes for a long time before we're ready to dive in. #metaphors. If Tasha's Cauldron of Everything doesn't make it clear that Dungeons & Dragons is best when it's customized, I don't know what would. Now to be clear, I don't think there's anything wrong with playing 100% rules as written. Maybe it's your first game and you don't want to risk balance, or maybe you've had some back and forth with your group before about homebrew and you want to just play it straight. Whatever you're doing is great, as long as everyone's happy. However, I think it's safe to say that most games have at least a couple of house rules, and this book reinforces that it is okay to make these changes to make the game your own. And I hope this book gets you in the mood to start thinking about your character first and your build second. You know that talk we've all had with the new player where they come to the table, their first game, they've got a great character concept in mind, they're ready to go, and then you have to tell them why mechanically it's not really going to work out. Throw that out the window. We're done with that. Maybe if we can all get back in that fresh-faced mood, we'll get back to building characters and not stat blocks. Okay, so what do you think of this surprisingly controversial book? And let me know in the comments below if you think these kind of rules are preparing us for a more player-focused future. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter, where I post hand-painted minis every Tuesday and Thursday. And here on YouTube, please hit the subscribe and notification buttons so you never miss a video. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.